Okay, so back up and going. Uh, Blade has returned. Okay, so gonna give a brief. Okay, looks like we got 2, 3, cool. All right, so we got folks going on now. Cool. It's nice to actually have like an actual class this time. All right. So the discussion. Let me kind of change this. So the discussion that was kind of like going on in the chat was very much having to do with Kundalini, and Healing Heart was asking about that. Let's see, and I think. Oh, hey, Sidus, how you doing? Okay, so I think what it says is that High has actually risen, whatever the proper terminology is, activated, awoke, however you want to say it, his Kundalini, and gives a description. And this is, I haven't actually done it myself. I'm in the process of doing it. I haven't actually done it myself, but he says, when it first started, it felt like my chakras were on fire and all my energy points melted. It was like someone injecting hot poison in my whole body. My muscles and bones hurt for weeks. My veins felt like they were on fire. And while I haven't actually, um, done that myself, I have experienced what he's talking about, especially when it comes to storing energy into my Dantian, my navel chakra. That's the term I've been trying to remember for the longest ass time, because I can't pronunciate that other one for some reason, Skachal chakra or something. But the navel chakra, Dantian, I've pumped energy into that one. I felt like that one was burning up, not painfully, but just noticeably. Like, it felt like I was. It's weird. It's a weird sensation. It's not heartburn. It's it's not like a heartburning sensation. It's not like acid reflux. It just feels like your stomach is just really hot. And I've also done this with recently. I've had this with my solar plexus, where it felt like it was really burning hot, and it is very much like, from what the description I've been given about Robert Bruce, because he is the one who, he does have a program, and the main, I think it's on the, I'll pull this back up, but I think it's on the EA Weddings, primary, let's see, here we go, primary course. It's one over here. If you go down to courses, and right here, mastering Kundalini and energy work. And yeah, this is he goes through a lot of detail about how to do it. There's a lot of preparatory work involved. And okay, hey, Healing Heart, how you doing? Okay, so you just joined us on the chat. Remember, you guys can post on the, got any questions, post up in here on the live chat if you have anything you want to ask. But yeah, that's where I've seen it, Mastering Kundalini and Work. I actually bought this course. I haven't actually unfortunately, I haven't had a whole lot of time. There is a lot of preparatory work involved in it. I am hoping that with this time off that I'm getting, I'm gonna try to like devote more time to that. And it's a lot of mental concentration. Like, so you need to be able to fully concentrate. You need to be able to do the energy work, do the preparatory stuff, and it's a lot. He also suggests not kind of relaxing on your protein intake. I actually know this from experience. I actually I craved more fruits and vegetables when I kind of made my first attempt go around with Kundalini. I didn't crave anything else but vegetables for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why that is. But you're going to talk about solar bone meditation, whatever you call it. Yeah, I am. I will talk about that. It's an exercise I was working on. Bone breathing. But yeah, so a lot of people earlier were just Healing Heart was asking about somewhere they were talking about Kundalini, so I wanted to bring that up. There is a lot of preparatory work that involves doing Kundalini, and essentially, your primary goal is you want to have like all the basics down, so you have like what he refers to as tertiary energy centers, secondary energy centers, and primary energy centers, which are your chakras. You want to have those all kind of like running properly, cleaned out as best you can, and then the big thing is you are going to be pumping energy into your root chakra, which he encourages to do anyway. He's talked about spontaneous Kundalini rising. I've actually talked to him. I've actually had something a little bit similar like this. It wasn't like a full rise. It was just more like spikes. And what it was is that I was in the tub soaking. I was exhausted, and I was having like these. There were like these really hot spikes that were shooting up, but they didn't go very far up. They kind of like only went as far as I think they only went as far as like my diaphragm, but they were kind of like just occasionally jolting up and down. They weren't really painful, but they were like noticeable. And his description that he's given about raising Kundalini was very he's given like a different description, kind of like this, like it feels like, he says it feels like a real snake crawling up inside through your body, like a real snake. And Hai says he doesn't need a Kundalini class, because I think he's already done it. Yeah, he's already done the class, so this is basically just for other people who are asking about it. Although, kind of getting Hai's that's a weird way to say it, like getting Hai, like, so, but getting Hai to talk about their experience with Kundalini would be that would be a person to ask, basically, because they've done it and everything, and I can attest to some of the statements that Hai has made. I wonder if is it Hai, he, or I assume it's Hai. I got my window open right now, but the whole part of your chakras feeling like they're on fire. That is, I have experienced that with my navel chakra, my solar plexus. They have felt like they were on fire, and I believe this is kind of like when you're like high activation, or I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I have experienced that, at least with two of them. So yeah, that would be something I would encourage. Do you have some preparatory work done? The gist is basically you want to do the basics of energy work, which you can, like, I've posted a link. I've posted a link in the PDF. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I've posted a link somewhere in the PDF that you can read that will have like the preparatory stuff, and yeah, right about here, preparatory work, and then you want to get familiar with that before you actually start doing Kundalini. That would be my suggestion. All right, so I'm gonna go jump back. Okay, so Sitha asked me about the solar bone meditation. Yeah, okay. So this was kind of like a cross method of a meditation I was working on, and akin to, it's also worked with bone breathing. You'll hear a lot about this from Amin Johnny and Robert Bruce, but also if you ever look up the book, let me see if I can find it. Initiation into Hermetics. If you ever look at this book, you can get like a free PDF of this. This is really, really detailed. This is like super detailed. Yeah, it's like a bunch of work. Like this is they got like theory, and then they've got like all the practice, and it's got mental, physical, spiritual practice, and all just like step by step. So really, he talks about bone breathing as well. Sitha says he has it. Good. Yeah, that's a good book to have. I think I've posted a link on the PDF section, but yeah, that is a good book to have, and you can get it for free. So the process is basically pretty simple. It does actually involves kind of being outside primarily, and this is so you can get used to the feeling of the sun, or feeling the heat of the sun. And once you kind of get to that point where you can feel it, you want to feel yourself breathing the sun's light through your fingers. Okay, so you start off breathing. As you inhale, you can feel it. You want to feel the heat coming into your fingers. But when you exhale, you want to feel that light, that heat kind of soaking in to your fingers, not pumping back out. Now you can push it back out on the exhale if you want. I would suggest doing that as a preparatory, kind of like you breathe in, you feel it coming into your fingers, and then you exhale, you feel it pushing out of your fingers. That's just so you have that's more to develop concentration and control, if anything. But also in some ways it can also help clean out. That pushing energy out is good for releasing blocks. Like breathing in and out that's really good. Let's see. Healing Heart says, I'm a smoker. I'm outside often, but odd. When I was younger, I had thoughts that what it'd be like to breathe between my fingers. Plenty of experience. But that is pretty much the thing. Now, what you want to do is, so anyone who's able to do this, what we'll do is we'll do like a basic startup, okay? It doesn't require you to be outside, but this is just basically so you can get used to it. Okay, just kind of like hold your hands out. You can hold one out, hold both out, however you got to do it. You can even do this with your start with your feet as well, but for simplicity's sake, excuse me. Well, let's see. We'll start with the hands first. All right. So here is a basic diagram of a hand. All right, let's try to see if I can pull this up a little better, get a better view of it. Can I get a better view of it? No, I cannot. It's always weird. Maybe I'll try this one. Okay, I think this will work. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so basically you have your hand, and as you what you need to do is you want to occasionally you want to put your attention into the tips of your fingers. Okay, so just kind of feel them. And yes, the thumb included. I know some people are like, oh, thumb's not a finger. Well, it is now. Okay, so you want to put your attention to the tips of all your fingers, thumb included. And when you inhale, you want to feel the sensation of air. You want to at least have the feeling of something flowing into the tip of the finger. So inhale, and then it comes in, and it comes into the entire finger, and then as you exhale, it soaks into the bone. Okay, so go ahead and work on that. And this is actually a very strong exercise, but you don't want to overdo it. You want to just do a little bit at a time. So I'd say do about maybe, we'll just do about like 25, all right? So just kind of inhale. Exhale and let it soak in. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Let it soak in. Inhale again. Exhale and let it soak in. That's 3. And just continue to do that. And you want to do that about 25 times. And if you start to notice some tingling in your fingers, something else that can also help is imagine if you, when you inhale, like water coming into the finger and really filling up, like fluid is filling up your finger, and then you're kind of like soaking it in when you exhale. Speed is not important, but concentration and control is. The most important thing is that you pay attention to the feeling. And once you're done doing this about 25 times or so, I'm just going with 25. It doesn't have to be a specific number. I'm just saying that would be like a good amount. So when you've done with that, try to move down to the entire hand. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Cool. You want to breathe in like you did before, but you can also, if it helps, breathe in from the fingers and then kind of like stop at the wrist right here. So breathe in from the fingers, and as you breathe in, you want to feel as if your entire hand is filling up with energy, with breath, with just, it's your awareness mainly, but you want to feel the feeling that water, energy, breath is all flowing into and filling up your hand. And then when you exhale, it soaks in. But you want to do it from the bottom, like when you fill it up, breathe in, let it kind of like fall all the way down to the wrist, and then gradually kind of fill up as you're inhaling. And then when you exhale, feel it soaking in through the bones, from the wrist, through the palm, and then to the knuckles, to the finger bones, and all. So from the bottom up. Let's see. That's the important thing. So we'll do that about, we'll do this about maybe 10 times, just so, primarily just to get used to it, and we can, we don't have to spend too much time on it, because we're going to try to move forward to the entire body. I want to try to move forward to the entire body doing this. So, okay. So inhale. So it flows all the way, stops at the wrist, and then begins to fill up towards the fingers. And on the exhale, it soaks in. Another thing you can do, this is actually can be a little bit helpful. You can actually feel. You don't have to use the fingertips necessarily. You can also just breathe in through the palm itself, through the entire palm. So you can breathe. Feel it as if it's coming into the palm, and then just kind of like soaking it in, and just do it the same way. You can probably do it from the center of the palm. And then as you inhale, you feel it kind of like expanding out till it hits like the edge of the fingers and then to the wrist. And then when you exhale, it soaks in. So give that one a try. If it helps, imagine you have like one of those wet spongy balls in the palm of your hand, and the water is kind of like seeping into the palm of your hand, and then just kind of filling up the palm, and then the fingers. Oh, excuse me. That train has never been so loud. So, also, what I'd like to do, I'd like to show a quick video if I can bring it up. Let's see. So I posted something. Yeah, it's raining here too. Yeah, it just finished raining over here. Let's see. So let's see. Sifu Amin Johnny, I'm going to show you this quick little video about him. Playlists. And here we go. Show you a quick little video. These things are not in order, and I think I've mentioned. Okay, so here we go. Bone breathing. So yeah, this is
Lesson number 4. This is the most interesting lesson probably to learn, because it's going to be life-changing. What I'm about to show you is going to give you power. It's the most secret thing we have in our cultivation practice. It's what some ancients have called bone breathing. Everyone wants to know what bone breathing is? Have you ever experienced it? Have you ever done it? Have you heard of it? If you haven't, now you have. And this is an ancient Taoist practice. We want to do this regularly. We want to do this daily. We want to get comfortable with this practice, but we don't want to overdo it. We don't want to hurt ourselves.
okay. So that was a very key thing. You don't want to overdo it. He's going to go into a little more detail about a time frame, I think, and that's a good. I'll let him kind of do that and go over. He's also going to get a little more detail as to why it's important to do bone breathing, and after he goes through that, I'll go to. I'll kind of expand on my process a little bit for the sun bone breathing.
Okay. So now that you learn how to become aware, and you can control the electric buzz that you feel inside your hand, control the chi. We're going to take that chi and we're going to put it into the bone. When we put it into the bone, we're going to be creating this high frequency. We're going to store the energy. Bones are crystalline. Bones act as crystals, like diamonds will. Diamonds can store frequencies. And these frequencies that we store, we can later project. Okay? So, bone breathing is the method that will allow us to do this. And bone breathing is what's going to enhance our awareness and actually force our awareness into our deep into our body. The ancients would say going inward brings salvations to oneself, but going outward brings salvation to oneself and others. So, with bone breathing, you're going inward. When we're moving electricity like this in your body, we're breathing into the dantian, we're going outward. Okay? You'll realize again it's going to be like factory. Moving the chi is going to be closely related to what you do with bone. Because chi will create bone. You're going to take chi, build up, and you're going to convert it into the bone. And you're going to gather the chi by moving the chi in the body consistently. And you're going to gather it in your dantian. These are all mind exercises. So very little physical exercise. It's mind working. After this lesson, we'll start teaching you some physical exercises. We're going to accompany you in the cultivation of energy to my level very quickly, without. But these fundamentals first have to be taught to you in order for you to be able to do them while you're doing the exercises, to get the most potential out of the exercises and out of your energy. Okay? So, what you do is look at your hand, put your awareness there, get the pulsation going, get the sensation going in your hand, be aware of the sensation, relax all the muscles, make them relaxed, feel them. And now, when you inhale, when you breathe, I want you to feel like not only is the air going in as you breathe, but literally where your awareness is also inhaling and breathing and sucking in the air around it. And where is it sucking it into? Into the bone. It's going to place it into the bone. So your awareness is going to be, your muscles are going to be so relaxed that all you're going to feel like is the bone. And your awareness is going to be on the bone. You're going to breathe into the bone. And then you're going to relax even more as you exhale. And then you're going to feel this huge sensations in your fingertips. It's going to feel like the blood just hit something, like your fingers just shrunk, your hand just shrunk. The blood is now pulsating even more, it's heavy. If you do it right, and you get it right, it's going to feel like all of a sudden your hands become magnets. And I want you to do this, but I don't want you to overdo it, because it can really burn you out. And the more steady and slow you do it, the better. So actually, you're not going to be more like. And as you see me, I was wiggling my fingers. I was completely relaxing my body. I was putting all my awareness in my hands. And as I was inhaling, and I felt the pulsation going from my hand. That pulsation felt like it was going into my bones, my I would feel resistance, and I would wiggle my fingers to let go and relax down even more, to build the tension, relax more, so I can keep on pulling. And you know what I'm talking about when you give it a shot. That's bone breathing. We're going to want to do this to our hand, we're going to do this to our forearm, our arms, our collarbone. We don't need to do it to our face so much. And if we do it gently and very, very gently, and not as much as we think. So we're going to do it to our rib, we're going to do it to our spine, but very careful with the spine, don't force it too hard. We're going to do it with our legs and our feet and everything. We're going to do our whole body. So, as in the first practice, when you're relaxing, you're aware of your muscles and you're relaxing all your muscles. And sucking your awareness into it. This will start accumulating energy and packing it into your body, making you more denser. You're giving your body more fuel to work with. This is what's going to build up this electromagnetic positive field that you'll be able to project. So, with that being said, please take the time to do this carefully. Again, take the time and do it carefully. Don't exert yourself too hard, don't be too fast, don't run out there, don't get short of breath. It gets much easier. If you're having a hard time feeling it or breathing in or bone breathing, it means that you need to relax more, you need to increase the circulation of both your awareness and that chi as well as the blood, which will fluid and join to each other. And you need to just take it at a pace and be patient with yourself. You should get it within a matter of minutes. Most people do. If you don't, it's okay. Like some people take days, and there's people who take in months. But the only reason why it takes some people longer than others is because how comfortable we are with ourselves and what we think of us and what's around us and how calm and relaxed and what feelings and everything. I am posting up some binaural frequencies to help you guys get into lower frequency states. So that's what's going to be available on the downloads for you, and they're labeled to what you want to use. So go ahead at this point, start listening to them. Go ahead and start downloading those, listen to those, and do this practice, and you'll see the label. I have one for the bone breathing, I have one for the energy one that's at 5 awareness. So go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and check those out, download those, start using those. Keep on becoming aware of inside your body and the outside, building more awareness. That awareness is sensitive to and then next lesson is going to be showing you how projecting this energy and projecting this energy and appreciate you guys for spending the time listening to talking. This was a lengthy one. Gotta cover everything, so be patient and I'll see you in the next lesson.
Okay, so yeah, that was oh, hey, oh Kyle, good to see you join us. Okay, there you go. All right, so yeah, that was a little bit more detailed, and I wanted to put that level of detail so that you could see it, and so he could kind of go over. Yeah, you don't want to move too fast. You don't want to let's see. let's see. But I would suggest if you do, probably do like a if you're gonna do it daily, do it like a daily 30-minute session. So kind of like start small, start from like your hands or your feet, and then kind of like move in and have you like a small number. So if you want to start small, you want to move from your hands or from your fingers to your hand, and then add your forearms, and then add your the rest of the arm, the shoulders, and then from the shoulders you want to kind of start expanding. I would but eventually you want to be able to do it to where you can get the whole body, the whole bones of your body in the breathing. So that's kind of thing. I did think he mentioned at one point in time not to overdo the face or the head, but and kind of be easy with the spine, because the spine does actually have like a lot of electrical current running up and down it. But mainly, yeah, try to. That's what I would suggest. Like if you can spend like maybe, whatever do a meditation time, and just as you're doing, if you're doing like a breathing meditation, just feel the feeling and if you get really good at it, you can just kind of like do the whole thing. Like there's a body breathing technique that Robert Bruce taught, where it was just you inhale and through the feet it goes up to and it fills up the entire body. You could do the same thing with the bones. I mean, you could just kind of like put your attention in your feet, and then as you inhale, feel the energy, like coming up through your feet and into your, up through your feet, through your legs, up to your back, hitting the head, and then it kind of like starts to pour down through the front and then to the arms. Let me see, I might be able to find let's see. Diagram. This is one I've actually saw. This is another really good guy too. So here is this one might be a good picture. Pull this one up. So I'm gonna pull up this image. Okay, so basically what it is that you breathe in up through the feet and up through the back and then down through the front, and as you're coming down, you want to come out through the arm. You want to hit the arms as well. So it's so you want to hit that on your inhale. So what you want to do is you want to have like a slow, steady inhale, not too strong, not too, you don't want to suck up too much air. Really kind of like slow, and you'll get there eventually. And then on the exhale, you just kind of like let all that you filled in soak into your bones. If you wanted, I would honestly suggest kind of like doing like one thing at a time, like foot, like the foot, the calf bone, the thigh bone, the back, the spine, the ribs, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and then the skull. I would suggest doing like one at a time instead of like doing it all at once. That way you can kind of be a little more thorough with it. But I mean, you can do it either way. It's just whatever way works for you. Now, with the process that Sithis had mentioned earlier, with the sunbone breathing, it's basically the same thing, but you want to get used to doing it like this first. You just want to get used to using the bone breathing first. That's what you want to focus on. You want to get to the point where you can develop that ability very kind of like easily. You want to kind of like, you can it's not difficult, or you can get used to it, and it might take some time, but I mean, it might take like about a week or two, but it's a week or two of time invested, so you can get used to it. Now, when you feel comfortable with it, the next step would be, now generally what you should do, or what I would suggest you do, you don't have to do it, is you can probably take like the, I think you can tell I take the, there's a stance that they do where you kind of like bend your knees and you keep you keep your back straight, neck straight, and then you kind of push your arms out and you hold the ball. But you can also, there's also the sitting one where it's basically the same thing. You just pull in from the bottom, it comes up through the back here and then down through the front. But I would suggest getting used to doing the breathing, and then when you've gotten familiar with it, then the next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go outside, and you can actually do this when it's at the sunlight. You can do this two ways. You can do this in the sunlight. Okay, when the sun's coming down, you feel you feel the heat of the sun, the rays, and as you do this, you want to feel the sun coming through the hands, you turn your hands upwards, through your palms upwards, and you can feel the light of the sun coming through, and it soaks through the palms and flows through the wrists and the forearms and up the shoulders and just through the body. So that would be a step to do. And if you're really good with this, this is a more advanced technique. What you would need to do is, if you're inside, or it's like, I think in Kyle's situation, he said like it's raining. Yeah, it's raining. You can focus on the feeling of the sun. And when you're at to the point where you can really kind of fully visualize and feel the heat and the light of the heat of the sun, and it starts to kind of like really, you can really muster that feeling, get to the point where you can actually absorb the sunlight through that feeling. But and that's going to take that would take like a lot of concentration. That's going to really kind of call upon your ability to visualization is basically just a form of what do you call it? Imagery, mental imagery is what it is. I mean, it's, or more the sense of a feeling is also tactile awareness, your sense of touch. You can easily recall what it feels like to be hot. I mean, if you were to close your eyes, right, and you were to just imagine that you were sitting in front of like a fireplace, okay, and the fireplace is really hot, and you're getting closer and closer, and you're actually kind of like sticking your hand out. You can actually, it won't burn you, but you can actually, your hand will actually kind of tingle a little bit, like as if you can almost feel those sensations of the heat. So that's your tactical awareness. That's your ability to recall feeling. Believe it or not, you have a lot of our cells actually do hold memories, which is interesting. So a lot of the blocks that we have are actually memories from the cells that we have running through our system. Now, if you're not really ready for that step, but you want to kind of like go above the step of feeling the sun, something you probably can do that use moonlight, because moonlight is a reflection of sunlight. Okay, we all know that moonlight is a reflection of sunlight. You can actually use the moonlight to do the same thing, to do the sun breathing. You're just using the rays of the rays bouncing off the moon in the same way. And what this can do is, this can actually be where you're actually absorbing the sunlight it's less intense. You can actually focus on the more. It's not as intense. It's not as hot, but you can actually focus on the feeling if you can't mentally replicate the feeling of being in the sun. Is, let's say, if you're like inside and you can't mentally replicate the feeling of being inside, or excuse me, the feeling of being outside in the sun, try doing the moonlight, because that is also an advanced technique you can apply. But I would suggest, building up first, learning how to bone breathe, and then moving to, once you get familiar with that, once you're able to do the entire body, move to outside, let the do the sun breathing as you're outside. And when you get better with that, try doing the moonlight breathing. And once you get good with that, try doing an imaginary sun breathing. Sithis says, I always thought that once the rays hit the moon, they were changed or tempered towards the moon's attributes or qualities. I mean, I would assume that's correct. But it's the idea of ultimately you're trying to do the same thing. The challenge with doing the moonlight is that you're still absorbing the light. You're absorbing the light from the sun, but not directly from the sun. So if you think about it, when you were doing the sun meditation, the sun meditation was about imagining yourself being outside in the sunlight, feeling the heat, feeling the light, and then you levitated up into the sun. Even though you were not actually in the sun or around the sun, or it might not even been daytime. It's about being able to use those feelings, or use that sense of touch and that sense of imagination. But that would be the idea behind it. And those are more advanced techniques. So I would suggest doing the bone breathing first, then doing outside in the sunlight, then doing the moon. I mean, you don't have to do them in that specific order. That's just an order of, if you getting used to it. I would also suggest you play around with it. Do it anytime you feel like it. If you just want to do the exercise, if you've got nothing else to do, like in Kyle's case, he says it's raining over where he's at. If it's too cloudy and he can't get the sunlight, practice sun breathing in sunlight, or solar bone breathing at night or inside. It's all about gradually develop those abilities. That would be my suggestion. But that's pretty much all it is for the concept behind the sun breathing. Anybody got any questions for me? Yeah, this I would actually recommend. And you can get like these books, Iron Shirt, Tendon Knee Kong. These are there's a 3-pack. I would suggest getting them from Amazon if you're interested. They stack really well with a lot of the stuff that Robert Bruce teaches with the feeling and the doing energy work. But that is the basis behind the practice. Let's see. Let me go hop over to the channel. It's like, okay. Questions. Anyone who was may have been curious about what Amin Johnny was talking about earlier when it comes to he also has a method which I'm actually working on more now, is feeling. You can go to that same place I showed you. It's I think it's one of his like first or second videos. It talks about feeling, putting your attention in your body and feeling the pulse of from your heart in specific locations, and its idea is to help increase circulation and also get you familiar with the feeling of what's going on inside your body, getting you more, building up your awareness. And I would that's what he was referring to when he was talking about putting your attention in your body. And I think developing your awareness can actually be a lot very helpful, especially if you're going to be like trying to work on some of these ways to improve. Putting your attention or building up your awareness can improve. Sorry, trying to get everything ready. Going to be going out of town this weekend. Glad I was able to hold a class today, so I didn't have to. I'll have this one set aside for Faith. Maybe she can practice it a little bit. Okay, but I don't know. Let's see. Hey Kyle, you got any questions? Blade, you got any questions? Let's see. And what I missed sounds really interesting. I did a live stream of you can watch that. You can watch that. Just going over sunburn breathing. I was curious about the one specific part. What part? He mentioned hitting rays from the moon. Oh yeah. I had suggested do the sun rings from the moon. I had as I'll probably rewatch this one. Okay. Aren't they Titans? Yeah, I think so. Most likely. Most likely. It was. It's more of the practice after this is solar breathe with. Yeah. So, Hi is asking, technically they would be lunar energy at that point, most likely. Since the moon is a celestial body and absorbs them, and to get lunar energy to pull directly out of the moon, they are reflective solar. That is how they become lunar. And I'm saying it's more about absorbing the light right without the heat. So you're saying just absorb the light itself or breathe in the light? Yeah, something. Yeah, practice after that is to solar breathe without the sun. Oh, so you're just saying breathe in solar light without energy. It's you can also do fire breathing from the fire. God, that sounds so stupid. You can also do fire breathing from the spiritual plane of form. So basically, let's see. Basically, imagine a fire head. Feel the heat. And absorb without a fire present. And let me go proofread myself. So I have lots of basically imagine. So yeah. Alright, let's see. I think Kyle had to go back to work or something, not sure. Alright. Couldn't you just use your own CF your flame? You haven't ever tweaking your inner farmer, or have you done? I don't think I have. Tell me more. You have an ever-present flame if you awaken your inner flame, or have you not done that yet? I don't think I have. Tell me more about it. I am curious. Do a class. Hey, we might actually do a class on that. Hey, you know, if you want. How good are you actually with actively? How good are you with actively? Fair enough. How good are you with actively seeing channels? Okay. I can feel them well enough. I can feel them. My crown is water, third eye is void, throat is air, heart is chaos, strong root is earth. They're systematically tuned. I don't know why I thought like, huh. You can explore my smartphone if you like. Might benefit, yeah. Let me take you up. Let me take you up on some of those. Alright. If you, as we can do, we can do a more. Oh, so he's got a journal on. Yeah, link that to us. Yeah, link that to us. I want to see that. That sounds really interesting. You have to do a lot of work. I mean, from what it sounds like he's done a lot of work. So I mean, I think he's asleep. He might have a different time zone. I would love to find out more information about this. Let's see. Mind if I post it in the PDF or manuscript? Go ahead and turn off voice since nobody's on voice. I like to keep it open in case someone wants to join in like an actual chat, but let's see. Yeah, when Hi gets his thing posted up there, I'm gonna go read about this a little bit more. I'm interested in this concept he's posting. Yeah. By the way, anyone who actually wants to teach. Okay, cool. It's not complete. No problem. Anyone who actually wants to teach, I'm gonna copy this link address and post it up here in the manuscripts. Your manuscripts. Okay, I'm gonna post this. Boink. There we go. Okay. It's not complete. It cuts off. It cuts off before the good stuff. I drifted off. Let's see. But yeah, I'd love to have more people teach on here rather than just me. I'd love to learn from other people. I think there's a lot more that I know there's a lot that I can actually learn from others, and also that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this is actually to have more people interacting and getting more involved, and not just me doing everything, not just me teaching, but having other people actually having classes and different subjects. See. Okay. 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 How about? I only do one-on-one. Okay. How about we? Your. How about we discuss your method? How about we discuss your? Yeah. Okay. It's unintentional. Ah. Oh, that's a shame. Alright then. Alright guys. Let me see. I have an infinite energy storage. Oh, I would love to learn more about this. Alright. So that's going to be that for now. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to see about reading. Reading High's page and see if I can do something with it or kind of read a little more, get a little more detailed in it. And I'd like to go over it some. He doesn't really feel like teaching, and that's fine. I understand that. But if anyone actually is interested in teaching a class or actually doing things, you know, hey, just let me know and I'll get this thing run up for you, and you can teach whatever you want. And I'd love to have more people sharing what they've discovered and sharing their own evolution with us. All right, y'all, take care. Bye.